Today, we are visit the booth with our CTO together. So my name is Kevin Yang. I'm in charge of the switch product in Huawei. So Lars.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm Lars van der Zande. I'm CTO for Campus Networks in Middle East and Central Asia region. And we're going through our solutions in campus today. So Kevin, what can you tell me about the solutions?
Yeah, it's quite innovation solutions which we launched in here. We called high quality 10G CloudCampus solutions. So with this solution, we have 4 features. The first one is ultimate experience. So compared with other vendors, we talk about the experience of the users and the terminals. But other vendors just talk about the speed and bandwidth. This is the first features of these solutions. And the second is a simplified branch. We think about the campus has a lot of branches, how we connected them easily and simplified. And also we have the simplified architecture. So compared with the traditional layer 3 solutions, we simplified to layer 2 and to easily extend your connections in the campus. And the last one, we also provide ultra high speed access for the wired and wireless. So CTO, can you explain the detail for them?
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. So as you can see, and we have multiple different things here in our overview, and we will get through all of them. From a high-speed perspective, you see more AR and VR, more video. Mm-hmm. So how can we do, and you were talking about 10 gig campus, that is what we need. We need to have also the 10 gig to the access points. So that is another thing that is very important, and especially in situations like that.
So in Middle East and Middle Asia, did you see the customers which they care about the bandwidth and the simplified architecture of the different sectors?
So as you heard, I did a session today on the simplified.
Good session. I watched it.
Thank you. And the simplified architecture is very interesting because it gives you a lot more flexibility when it comes to where you can use your switches. So now, let's say you have 6 rooms where you have your switches, IDFs, and then you need to have cables maximum 100 meters away from that. So you need to plan that very carefully.
Okay, so maximum of the cables were
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that is one thing.
Yeah.
So you're not flexible. And then if you look at the hybrid optical electrical cable that we have, with our remote unit switches, which are small switches that can even be powered by PoE, you can go more than 100 meters. You can go 300 meters with PoE. So you have a simplified architecture where you have a central switch, where you can just connect what we call a remote unit. You don't need to do any configuration on that remote unit, and you can place it even more than 100 meters away.
So it can deploy it everywhere, right?
In a room, what we call fiber to the office, this is better than fiber to the office. I can even power it with PoE.
That's good.
Yeah, so that is something that is completely different than any of the other vendors are doing.
Okay, so with these simplified solutions, you can provide the wired and wireless connections in everywhere, in warehouse, in classroom, in hospitals.
Every single scenario, every single customer has different needs. And we try to tailor with our solution, we try to tailor for that. Does every customer need a remote unit, simplified architecture? No. But there are a lot of customers that can benefit from it. So that is what we're looking for when we look at customers and look at our solutions that we're making.
Okay, so let's continue. We are going to ultra high speed access. So in this booth, you can see our latest Wi-Fi 7 products.
I talked about the hybrid cable. It also has a hybrid electrical port, so we can power it.
I heard about we test in some customers in the real scenarios. So can you share the speed? How was the speed of the terminals?
So we tested this in a real scenario with a normal terminal, a Wi-Fi 7 terminal. That was 4.3 gig.
Oh, really very high.
And you need to keep in mind that Wi-Fi 7 can do 16 spatial streams, but a terminal has only probably two maximum 4 spatial streams. So that's why it is not 18 gig. So also, with copper cables, we can go maximum to 10 gig. So that is why I was talking about the hybrid optical electrical cable, because they can go to, in the future, 25 gig.
40 gig.
40, 50,
100
whatever.
gig, yeah.
Yes. So even when Wi-Fi 8 will come in 4 years maybe, then we can just keep the cable, replace the SFP, power it with the same cable. So there's a lot of different technologies that not only in the access point we're doing, we're also doing in the cabling.
Good. So can you explain more about the zero roaming solution?
Yeah, this is the access point. So this box,
okay.
it doesn't look like an access point, right?
Okay, right. It's a box, but
Yes.
it's access point.
Exactly. So all the technology is in this one. That means that from this box to this one, this looks more like an access point, right?
Yes.
To the antenna,
Antenna.
this is the antenna, we have all of that controlled in this box.
Okay.
So I can have 64 antennas in total, so let's say in 64 different
So
rooms.
you were in
8 of these antennas go into this box, and this one goes directly into this one.
okay. How to power and how to connect it to this central?
Yeah,
AP?
so the central AP powers it from the port here to this AP.
Okay, the copper.
Copper, and then optical is also here.
Ah, okay.
So it gets
it's
power
a hybrid
and data.
cable.
Exactly, it gets power and data. And then this with a proper antenna cable goes to the antennas.
Ah, okay.
So
okay.
with that one, you don't have any roaming because I'm on the same access point. Even though I have 64 antennas,
Yeah.
I have one access point. So you don't roam on one access point.
Yeah.
So that makes it very interesting for scenarios where roaming would be an issue normally,
Like hospital.
like in hospital. Yes.
Okay. So it's a solve a big problem of the customers.
Exactly.
In the scenarios which they need roaming. How about this access point?
Yeah.
It's used in retailer, as you said in the first post.
Yes. So this is a smaller let's say not smaller, but our cost-efficient access point.
Oh, can
Yeah.
be open.
Can plug in IoT modules here.
Okay. So,
So-
like e-labels can connect it to this.
Exactly.
IoT
You
models.
you don't have to separately build an RFID network, for instance. You can plug in the RFID gateway here, and it uses the infrastructure that you use for your Wi-Fi to transport the IoT data.
Okay. So in Middle East and Middle Asia, do you have any customers which they are deployed this?
Yeah. We do have them.
Okay.
It's in supermarkets, for instance, for electronic shelf labels.
Okay.
Schools are very interested in that as well. We have some schools where they have RFID tags in the. They all wear a costume, so they put an RFID tag so they can do the attendance, for instance. So those are scenarios that you can do with this solution.
So this is a quite a good solution for the customers, which they need to merge their IT and OT network to one. Unique.
Correct.
Okay, so let's go to another one.
Okay.
Okay, as Lars, as you know, campus is like a unit of this city. So how to connect it, all of this unit together? So you have some solutions like simplified branch.
Yes.
Yeah, how is working for this?
It is using SD-WAN technology for the interconnection between the different locations. Why we call it simplified branch? Because we're not only doing the routing, SD-WAN, we're also doing the network behind it because of our management platform. We have iMaster NC Campus, if you have bigger customers, and then if you want to have an easier platform or you want to have a smaller branch.
Like a finance, you have the headquarters and you have the branches. You can have one platform to manage all of them.
That is one thing. The second thing that we have was I was saying, if you have let's say a relatively small branch, and you can see that here, we have a router, and that router can connect with the remote unit that I showed before. The same unit can be managed by a router. So that means that I have a router with switch ports, and then if I need more switch ports, I can have a remote unit. And then I have one single management platform. So that is very simple from a branch perspective, a very simplified deployment where you don't have a device for routing and then a device for switching.
In the platform,
Yeah.
you can see one device or several devices.
No, exactly, you see one device.
One device.
Yes.
Okay.
So the remote units will just show up as extra ports from the router.
Very good solution. And it can decrease the maintenance cost of the customers.
Exactly, and the deployment cost, because the remote units are plug and play. So you plug it in, it's done.
Okay. So how about outdoor scenarios, like in energy, in public sectors? If they have some branch which is outside, you can think like a station, oil stations.
Yeah.
Do you have any products which can used in that scenario?
Yeah, so we also have our outdoor or our ruggedized router. So our Net Engine AR631 is specifically for industrial scenarios.
Industrial.
So yeah, so the cooling is passive cooling. It has higher IP values. That is specifically made for those kind of environments where maybe the temperature is higher, or where you place it in an outer cabinet, or maybe, and especially in the Middle East, you have ATMs that are exactly, that is just out in the street, temperature very high, so that is where you can use that.
Okay, so it's very interesting. So you have the simplified architecture inside of the campus, and you have the simplified branch which can connect it all of the campus together. So let's go to the last one, Huawei eKit. So it's interesting. Huawei launched the new product portfolio. We called Huawei eKit. So in Middle East and Middle Asia, I saw that from the IDC. We have 90% customers is from the small enterprise. So what is this solution? Is for this kind of customers?
Yeah, so like you said, for those customers, most of the time they don't really have a big network.
Okay.
They don't have a big management platform. They're looking for connectivity, but it needs to be simple. Yeah, exactly. So that is where we're having introduced platforms that are simple platforms, which has all the functionalities that they need, from an access point to router to switches, where we also have a simple app from which they can manage the platforms. So very easy to buy, to place, to manage from a single app.
So the customers, like a coffee shop, like the Soho office, they don't need any manage for the device. They, as you said, they just manage by the application.
Correct. So that is simple, and this is what we're doing in the market to make it relatively easy to buy this equipment and to manage it as well for them.
Okay, I saw that you have the Wi-Fi, switch, and the routers. So you like the package of the networks to the customer.
Exactly.
So how Huawei do this kind of business in Middle East and Middle Asia? Are you cooperate with partners?
Yeah, so, well, we always work together with partners, right?
Sure.
All our business goes through our partners. This is specifically that we do as a distribution platforms that we sell. So this goes through distribution, goes directly to our customers, where they can buy the products and use them.
Okay, so it's quite good solutions for the small enterprise. So thanks, Lars. Today is very interesting. I go through the booth together with you. I hope the customer will love our solutions.
Me too. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Thank you.